Hello guys and welcome back to our Thaumcraft tutorial series, with me Bashful Brit. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Oops. If so, please make sure to leave a comment below telling me why am I still in creative. God damn it, I do this too much. Right. Game mode 0. Okay, so as you can see, a couple things have changed here in the Thaumcraft tutorial world. Basically what we have done is I spent about an hour or so last night, and I was just like, you know what, we're going to be doing a nice tutorial series here. We're going to be here for quite a while doing the tutorial series. So I thought the best thing to do would make a nice pretty little sort of house room thing for us to do all of our research in. We now have the Dispenser of Knowledge. That's quite a fun little thing that we're going to be playing with. But yeah, I didn't do like a hell of a lot on the outside. I did like a little bit of playing around. Made it look quite nice. The roof is just that. I'm not very good at doing roofs, so that's why that's not been done. Hang up a couple of these arcane lamps, which you get from Thaumcraft, which I will be showing you in the future. That's part of the research that we've got to do. If we grab our book. Basically what I've done is I've gone through the book. Like here. I've already made research notes and I've dumped them in the dispenser. And this is going to do, what I've set this up, both buttons work exactly the same. And it's going to make a 2-tick pulse in a dispenser, and it's going to throw us out two random bits of knowledge, two bits of research, two random bits of research. If we go like this, bam, bam, and this is what we're going to be researching today. We're going to be looking into Alimentum and magical metallurgy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the available research that we can have at one possible time and load it all into the dispenser, and the dispenser is going to choose what research we do. We're only going to do 2 per video now because my videos are getting a bit too long on this and you guys do not want to be bored. I'm also going to be skipping the hex puzzles because you guys have I'm hoping you guys have grasped the basic concept of them already. If not, I will be you'll be able to see the pictures at the end. Anyway, I just wanted to go over the first couple of videos with you guys and go through them so you had a basic understanding of what we were doing. So I'm hoping you guys have got a basic understanding now. I'll be showing you the end results once I fiddle around with them, so you guys haven't got to watch me do that. So yeah, we're going to be using the Dispenser of Knowledge in future to give us our research. That's going to spit everything out for us, which is going to be fantastic. Makes it a little bit random, makes it a little bit more fun. So without further ado, we're going to be jumping straight into our research, and the first one we're going to be doing is Alimentum. So we're going to chuck that one in there. This one's quite easy to link together. I can probably actually do this one on camera with you guys. So if we can do that, do that, do that, do that, done. There you go, no messing around. Alimentum is done. And next one is magical metallurgy, which is going to give us thormium ingots. So you can make these beautiful purple thormium blocks that I used for my building. This one should also be quite straightforward. I mean, like, when we get the big ones, I'll probably skip them. But when we have the little ones like this, what the hell is the point? So we're going to come off this one quite simple. It's just going to go like that, and then we're going to go like that, and then we're going to go like that, and we are done. So as you guys can see there, you can follow this through, and we're going to smack into the Alimentum, and we're also going to jump into metallurgy. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I do not care. So we're going to be jumping into alchemy by the looks of it, and before we're going to jump into any of this alchemy, I'll go over Alimentum and tell you what it does. Alimentum, this substance throbs with fiery energy and is more than eager to release the energy at the slightest bump. It may be unstable, but it would probably make a good source of fuel. This is probably not a good idea to throw it against a solid surface, unless you enjoy explosions. Everyone loves explosions, so throw the hell away. Alimentum has a burn time of 6,400, as opposed to, if we can see over it, yeah, as opposed to coal, so it's 4 times the amount of coal or charcoal, and all we're going to do is be chucking that into a crucible with these aspects. So we're going to jump into that, and I'm going to show you how to make them. Next one is magical metallurgy. Metals have proven to be quite easy to manipulate via thaumaturgical principles. Your first experiments have led to the discovery of thormium. Thormium is the result of infusing base metals with raw magical energy. The result is a metal harder than iron, with the ability to accept enchantments beyond that which iron is normally capable of. A metal such as this has many applications in the crafting of advanced thaumaturgical devices. There goes my speakers. Also, it can be used to craft tools, arms, and armor in a crafting table using the normal recipes. And it will just go through the book and it will show you your basic recipe. So it's all going to be your basic layouts that you'd use for any normal tools, and you can make thormium armor out of it. Durability isn't too bad at all. I'm not sure about the armor rating. So in order to be making any of this stuff here, we are going to be needing a crucible. A crucible is basically like Thaumcraft's version of a cauldron, but it has added, it's sort of like the same concept as a cauldron, except it adds a lot more you can do with it rather than just store water, which I think Minecraft actually need to adapt on. So to craft the crucible, you must simply use your wand on a cauldron placed in the world. This will turn it straight into a crucible for you guys. And the crucible is an important tool for any thaumaturge. Allows him or her, this book is very sexist, I'm not a fan of it. It allows him or her to render physical object into their component essentia and recombine it again as he or she wishes. The crucible needs to be placed over a source of constant heat and filled with water. Once the water starts boiling, you simply throw any items you wish into the crucible and they'll be broken down into their component essentia. If you know the proper formula and the mix of essentia within the crucible is correct, you can then drop a special item into the crucible known as a catalyst. The catalyst draws the essentia into itself and transforms into a whole new item that the crucible then ejects. Any leftover essentia remains within the crucible for further use, but it is not a good idea to leave it in the crucible for long. This will start like evaporating the essentia and it will be causing flux. And then you get that horrible flux goo and stuff that we do not like. There's a way to bypass this in the future, which I will go over with you. But any leftover essentia, blah, 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 blah. Crafting also uses some of the water within the crucible, and you eventually need to refill it. So starting off with this, eventually, like I said again, there's a way to bypass this. But in the beginning, while you're using this, you're just going to have to keep refilling it. Essentia within the crucible is constantly degrading. Compound essentia degrades into one of the component aspects, and primal essentia simply evaporates. So basically, if you have a compound aspect, say we have lux in there, lux is basically going to be broken down into two primal, it's primal essentia. So one lux will break down into one air and one ignis. And then if you still don't use it after that, it will eventually evaporate itself. And that will cause flux. Beyond the waste of resources, evaporate and degrade an essentia may cause strange side effects, which is flux, as I explained. You can create and then you can empty a crucible right clicking it with a wand. All the essentia is dumped into the atmosphere, not something you want to do quite often. So here we go, we're just going to grab ourselves a cauldron. I don't have any iron on me, but you guys should know how to make a cauldron anyway. But for those people who do not, I will make one right now. It's basically just like iron legs, but the other way around, and that will give you a cauldron. Woohoo! And then the other thing we're going to need is a constant source of fuel. There are several ways we can be doing this. We can go with netherrack, or you can use lava, and there is another way which I will cover in a video in the future. But for now, it's going to be one of these ways. And we're going to grab a flint and steel. And we're also going to grab water. So grab 2 of them because we're going to need 2 of them. We're also going to need a second cauldron, just so I can show you this works both ways. Okay, that's very bad spelling on my part there. So we got our 2 cauldrons. We're going to set this away from wood purely because we're going to be using lava. So if we place that there, and then we place that there, and then we're going to get our wand. Doesn't matter which wand you use, you can use either one and click on it, and it will just change texture slightly. And then we're going to come across next to it and dig down one more. And because netherrack is forever burning, once you set that stuff on fire, you can easily use that as well. We place that in there, and we'll grab our wand again, and we'll change this. This will not use up any of the vis that you have stored in your wand, as far as I'm aware. I'll just double check the book on that one. Yep, doesn't use any vis at all. It would normally tell you in there if it would. So now we're just going to grab our 2 buckets of water, and after a while you'll see this thing start bubbling, or you should do. There you are. That one's bubbling and that one's bubbling. You have to wait for it to be bubbling before it can be ready. So we're going to jump straight into this now. We're going to do Alimentum, which is ignis, potentia, and pedetia. So if we grab ourselves some coal. I don't believe we've scanned coal yet. Coal is a good one to scan, as it has ignis and potentia in it. And then all we need left is pedetia. And once again, I don't know if I've showed you this to you guys, but once you go into the book and once you've discovered something, it will tell you what it's found in most. So we have found that in sand. So if we grab ourselves some sand, yeah, and this also has terra in it, so we're going to have a bit of leftover as well. As you can see here, we have two of each thing in this one, and then we also have 1 of each in this one. So we're going to need to make the numbers match. For Alimentum, we are going to be needing Alimentum. We need 3 of each. Since this has 2 and we don't want to try and have too much excess, we're going to make 2 lots of it. So once you've got your goggles on as well, you'll be able to see this little pop up here. And then, so we're going to make 2, so that's 6. And then we're going to chuck in 6 pieces of sand to give us the 6 pedetia, but we're going to have 6 terra left over. And then we can chuck that in there and chuck that in there, and that's going to spit us out to Alimentum. And we're going to have this terra left over, and it's going to go into the thing. We can right click on a cauldron. Okay, you can shift right click, and this is what we get. We end up with flux goo, and we do not like this stuff. This stuff is bad. You could have left that in there and it would go away itself, but if you do too much at once, it will create a lot of flux goo. This stuff will eventually disappear, but it takes a while, and it also may cause some effects such as eerie biomes, which will lead to taint, and you do not want that, trust me. So that's how we make Alimentum. It's quite simple. I'm sure there's something that has purely pedetia in it, and if there is, I will find it for you guys. But next one we're going to do is precantatio with iron nuggets. So we have iron on us, and we just need something that has a good amount of precantatio in it. So once again, we're going to go to our book, flick through, and any of the shards have precantatio in it. You also have cobble, mossy cobble, which has it in. Which one has the most in? That's what we want to find. Vishrooms have them in. Crucibles have them in. A bit too much there though. So what we're probably going to do is we'll grab, we need 4 per, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How the hell did I count that out? I must be clicking a lot faster than I count. So what we're going to do on this one is I'm going to chuck that out, chuck that in. And then we're going to chuck that in and that in. And that's going to spit out that. And now we have 2 thorium ingots. So yeah, basically that can be used for tools. We're going to be using this quite a bit later on in our research. You're going to want quite a bit of that. It might be worth waiting until we get the advanced sort of set up before we start going into mass production on that. But that has been it for this episode. As I said, I want to keep these episodes a bit shorter for you guys. So you guys can come here, watch your video, get all the knowledge that you need. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Something is on fire outside, so we're going to quickly go put that out. Yeah, this is why I don't like using lava. There we go. Lava is gone. And you also get the gas as well. Flux gas sometimes will output. And as you can see there, that is breaking down into the vitreous is breaking down into Terra and Ordo. But anyway, as I said, guys, that has been it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm going to try and do shorter and quicker episodes for you guys so you can find the knowledge that you need easy. And I'm not going to add too much into one video. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more Thaumcraft tutorials. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.